When in a social situation, do you ever feel like you can never get a word in? Ever wonder how people engaging in conversation are so astute at conversing and you feel like you are outside looking in as they have fun? Ever feel like you are invisible to them and they seem to never hear a word you say? You simply have not learned the art of interruption, or more appropriately put, back and forth conversation. When you were growing up, you probably were told not to interrupt or told to wait your turn to talk. You may have been discouraged from talking at all, especially around other adults. Even worse, you may have tried many times to have your voice heard and were silenced, ignored, or told to go elsewhere. Chances are that your points were out of line, off subject, putting your own self in front of others, or simply lacked the tact to engage in conversations with adults or others. Parents tend to be sensitive or fearful of their children coming across as disrespectful or awkward. I will say that parents often simply do not know how to handle or include their children in dialogue, and that is unfortunate. My first ever manager, for an important job as an adult, invited me to his house for dinner, and I was excited to get the invitation. When we were sitting at the dinner table, prior to the meal, and I was listening to him tell stories about his business, his 5-year-old son came into the dining room with a toy fire truck and started playing with it on the dining room floor. I was expecting fire and lightning from the parents, expecting them to address the issue by scolding the child or picking him up and taking him away. I sat with fearful anticipation of how this very accomplished and somewhat intimidating man would handle the interruption. What the man did was get up from his seat, go and sit next to his child, and play with him for a few minutes, even getting louder as the child. He then scooped up the child, gave him a big kiss and hug, and encouraged him to play with another toy in a different room. I was shocked and delighted at the same time. Parents should not be embarrassed of their children as much as children should not be embarrassed of their parents. This was an enlightenment for me and immediately put me at ease working for him. Ever know someone that rudely interrupts others, and they consistently upset you and others around them? They are everywhere. You should also realize that there are those that likely interrupt at the same frequency but do so with style and grace, and people actually enjoy being around them. What is the difference? Let us compare the two types. Rude interrupters. Stop others mid-sentence to take over the conversation, focuses solely on what they want to say, doesn't seem to really care or try to listen to others, changes the direction of conversation, does not allow conversation to flow among its participants, comes across as selfish, talks about themselves more than asking questions of others or ask for their input. Changes the mood of a conversation from positive to negative. Tries to one-up the others, never remembers what you mentioned in the conversation, tends to look at one other dominant conversationalist. Star interrupters, listens intensely to others before interjecting, interrupts to ask for more information on the topic, includes others in the conversation via questions, allows the conversation to flow back and forth, interrupts to do what I call interest bombardment, comes across very likable, appears to be a master conversationalist. Keeps the conversation positive and on the same topic until slowing. Encourages others to go on and tell more, remembers what you mention in conversations and asks about it later, takes turn looking at everyone involved in the conversation. The word interruption often carries a negative connotation, conjuring images of people talking over each other in a battle for dominance. While excessive, self-centered interruptions can derail a conversation, not all interruptions are disruptive. In fact, research suggests that well-placed interjections can create a more dynamic and engaging discussion. Effective conversationalists know that conversations are not rigid turn-taking exercises, but fluid exchanges. In many cultures, particularly those with fast-paced or high-context communication styles, interruptions are a sign of enthusiasm and engagement rather than disrespect. The key is not whether one interrupts, but how and why they do it. Why thoughtful interruption is necessary. Here are the reasons why. Number 1, clarification and understanding. A well-placed interruption can prevent misunderstandings. If a speaker is going down a long, winding explanation, a brief, respectful interjection like, just to clarify, are you saying, can ensure that everyone remains on the same page. Number 2, keeping conversation engaging. Conversations should be dynamic, not monologues. Skilled conversationalists interject to add relevant insights, ask meaningful questions, or show enthusiasm. This keeps discussions interactive and prevents one-sided dominance. Number 3, redirecting when necessary. Sometimes, discussions veer off topic or become repetitive. A tactful interruption can gently steer the conversation back on track without making the speaker feel dismissed. Number 4, expressing enthusiasm and rapport. In many informal or high-energy conversations, interruption signals excitement and engagement. Saying, "Oh, that reminds me of," or "exactly," and another thing, builds rapport and fosters a lively exchange. Thoughtful interruption. Here is how to do thoughtfully. Number 1. Use nonverbal cues first. Before jumping in verbally, use subtle gestures like nodding, raising a finger slightly, or leaning forward. This signals interest and readiness to contribute. Number 2. Choose your timing wisely. Avoid interrupting mid-sentence or when the speaker is making a crucial point. Instead, look for natural pauses or moments when their tone suggests they are about to transition. Number 3. Acknowledge before interjecting. Acknowledge what the speaker is saying before adding your input. Phrases like, "That's a great point, building on that," or "I love what you just said, and I'd like to add," show respect while steering the discussion. Number 4. Keep it brief. The goal of interruption is to enhance, not hijack, the conversation. Keep your interjection concise and relevant so that the original speaker can continue their thought. Number 5. Be mindful of context and culture. Different environments and cultures have different norms around interruptions. In formal settings, interruptions should be minimal and highly strategic, while in ways to interrupt like a pro. Number 1. Ask. You can say things like, "Can I make a quick point?" or "Let me just say something if you don't mind," or "John, can I ask something about that?" or "Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you but." Number 2. Look for the drawdown of someone speaking. People tend to lower their pitch or volume at the end of a sentence or summarize what they just said. Perfect time to go in. In some cases, you can interject even before the last word of the sentence is spoken and not come across as rude. Number 3. Look for loss of thought. Sometimes people will pause, repeat things, or simply are looking for someone else to carry the conversation. Save them. Number 4. Pre-apologize without saying sorry. Sometimes you simply want to set the stage before speaking. This is not necessarily an interruption of someone but permission to take the conversation in a different direction. As an example, "I know we are talking about ABC, forgive me, but let me bring up something related," or "I hope I'm not getting us off track here but." Number 5. Raise your hand. You are not waiting for someone to call on you, just simply giving a verbal warning that you are about to speak. Number 6. Mention the speaker's name. If someone is speaking and you want to interject, mention their name and ask to speak. Number 7. Use "em" or "ah." We are discouraged for using "ems" and "us" during a speech, but it can also be used to signal that you are about to speak. Number 8. Take a deep breath. Again, another signal to others that you are about to speak. This, along with nodding your head up, is also effective. Ways to keep from getting interrupted. Number 1. Show a willingness to listen and take turns. Listen intently to others as they speak. They will return the favor out of respect. Number 2. Do not draw down. Do not lower your pitch or volume, but do the reverse at the end of your sentences. Number 3. Raise your hand to pause others, effective at maintaining control. Number 4. Stand your ground. If someone tries to interrupt you, ever so slightly raise your voice and continue talking regardless. Those that are assertive do not feel obligated to stop when someone else interrupts. You have earned the right to speak and others should respect that right and not interrupt you. Without practice, it's easy to fall into the trap of stopping when interrupted. It shows a sign of weakness. Keep speaking. Be careful doing this with those of higher authority. Also, do not be someone that goes on and never lets anyone else speak, but when it is your turn, hold on to it. How to handle getting interrupted. Number 1. Ask to continue, interrupt back and ask something like, may I continue, or do you mind if I finish? Number 2. Allow and take back control. Say something like, I'll let you speak and then I'd like to finish my thought. This will also effectively signal not to interrupt again. Number 3. Point out diplomatically, smile and say something like, I know you have a lot to say, but, or please let me make my point. Interest bombardment. Ever meet someone that was so charismatic that you felt literally drawn to them? You loved being around them and could not wait to see them. Imagine this, someone you know well literally acting like they are seeing you for the first time after many years. When you see them and they see you, they light up with eyes wide. Being an avatar, it is hard for me to recreate, but imagine that they come up to you with a grin and giggle as they speak to you. They start bombarding you with questions about your life, what happened after the last time you talked to them about something you mentioned before. They see to come at you with so many questions about you that you cannot get a word in. Even though it seems like they are interrupting you with every answer, it feels really nice to see someone that shows so much interest in you. I call this the interest bombardment technique. I've witnessed people that do this throughout my life, and so many times, I felt like I was so special to them that I felt like I was the only person in the world at the time. I later realized that they do this to everyone they know, although I was so charmed by their charisma that I did not notice. This is easier to do than you think, but you have to come across as genuine. They use all the techniques I provide in other lessons, from smiling, to remember names, to being animated with voice and body language variations such as pitch variation. Trying this technique takes courage and practice, but you must be and show genuine interest in others to pull it off. Never be afraid to try though, just know it will take time to get it right. One person that comes to mind is Drew Barrymore. Here is an example.
Have a seat right here.
Okay. Oh, thank you for dusting it
Oh
off.
God, I'm so happy to see you. I can't even tell you. We haven't seen each other in, how long has it
25
been?
years, I think.
25 years.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, I don't.
Partied, we didn't party.
We got sober together, we got unsober together, we got sober together, yes.
I know, and I'm still like in the middle of.
What happened? What happened? No.
It's like trying to figure it out. That's what happened.
Good luck with your newly revealed secrets. Go out there and make life happen according to your own desire.